Hi there. Okay, very strong message today. You have a person in your life who sees very clearly now. Central energy, okay? In the past, you had many differences of opinions, possibly different belief systems, different values, different families, different ways of doing things. You were kind of the proverbial chalk and cheese, okay? You both got stuck, I'm hearing, on one particular issue that you couldn't resolve. However, this ex of yours sees clearly now, and there is going to be a massive energy shift by the end of this month. I would say end of this month, first week in December, so it's pretty precise, okay? I'm going to have a look and see what else we can get from this. But your ex sees clearly now. As I can hear that song, I can see clearly now the rain has gone. I think that's the song anyway. But let's have a look and let's see what's going on with this today. I'll just give these a shuffle. I'm going to have a look at the past first. I'm just going to get a bit of clarification about what these issues were, so you'll know if it's your reading. Just while I'm shuffling though, if you would like a reading from me, just click on the title of this video. The links are below in the description box to the website. So in the description box, the link is there. Click on that and you'll go straight through to the website and everything's on there. And also check out the free relationship report as well. And thank you for watching, and I hope you're okay. You're in for a shock. Someone's in for a shock here. Okay, you've been apart a while. Someone is in for a shock. Okay, someone's in for a shock. Someone's lonely. And I'm hearing it's not the first Christmas you've spent apart. Something's going to trigger this person. It's like they get up in the morning and they're like, okay, I need to speak to you. Something is going to clear with them. Okay, something's going to clear. I'm going to have a look at that. I think you can feel this energy. I think you just know, you're not sure when. Let's have a look at the past then. Oh gosh, right, okay. Yeah, the past energy, it was just swinging from one. We've got the Hangman. You know, the energy in the past was stuck. Either someone was playing the victim or somebody wasn't committing. You were left twisting in the wind. You didn't get closure. The issue that should have been resolved wasn't resolved, and it was just stuck. It was going nowhere, okay? You know, nobody was backing down for whatever reason, and it was just totally and utterly stuck. There was a lack of direction in the end with this relationship. Maybe you wanted to do something specific, or they did. Whatever happened here, there was no agreement, and that is what I got right from the beginning, that there was one issue that probably spilled into other areas of your life that you couldn't agree on, okay? Yeah, it could have been a move. The World card's here. The World card's here in the past. You were so close with this person. So close yet so far to success, completion and achievement. But it was almost like Groundhog Day. You just kept getting stuck in the same old arguments, the same old issues. I feel your ex was playing the victim. Okay. I feel you've been apart for a while, and there was just a lot of disappointment really, because goals, whatever they were for you guys, were not reached, and yet they should have been. Yeah, they should have been. And there was also 7 of Wands in the past. There was a lot of arguing. I think you felt very much with your back up against the wall that you were having to... I'm hearing it was so obvious what needed to be done, but for whatever reason, it wasn't happening. It wasn't working out, okay? I think you felt cornered. And I do feel in the end, it wasn't a relationship that split up because there was no love. It was just exhausting. It was just exhausting. You were just in no man's land. You were either backed into a corner, having to stand up for your beliefs. There are people who should have been supporting you who weren't, okay, and you were just up against it. You know, somebody was a bit controlling and somebody took the high ground, but in the end, with the Hangman, it was going nowhere. I think you tried to get a different perspective on it. I think you took time out to try and see the other person's point of view, but they weren't willing to do that, okay? And in the end, I do feel very strongly that you made a lot of sacrifices for this relationship that weren't made for you, all right? That weren't made for you. Yeah, and then we've got the Two of Wands in the past as well, which is always an energy, the Two of Wands of choice. A decision needs to be made, and in a love reading, it can speak of somebody after the initial excitement getting bored, somebody thinking, well, this isn't for me, what shall I do? Or they just suddenly leave, or they decide to go, wanderlust, that kind of energy. So it wasn't a particularly good sort of energy for you to be in. Right, why do they see clearly now? What's happened? It's like they've had a bolt of lightning. Why do they see clearly now? Yeah, they do. Gosh. The Two of Swords, but it's in the reverse. Wow. So they're now in the Ace of Swords energy. They see the truth. They've got clarity. They realise that they were sitting on the fence. They realise they've taken the blindfold off. Okay. They realise that action needs to be done. But whatever the issues were, that they were not giving you closure on, and that they were not listening, and they were just, swinging around and just really almost silent treatment, I feel they were giving you. They have now realised the truth, okay? And these delays stop now. This is what's happening, okay? This is what's happening. In the past with you guys, there was a stalemate. Maybe at some point in the relationship, someone was walking on eggshells, somebody couldn't express themselves, somebody couldn't speak their truth. There's also an element here of a divided loyalty, not necessarily with a third party romance person, but someone, I feel it's your ex, was not focused, okay? And this relationship that you were in that ended, this went on for a little while, that you were all in this stuck energy, almost sitting at a crossroads. Well, I'm telling you now that the blindfold's off with the Two of Swords in the reverse. That indecision has gone, those delays are over, okay? Your ex is going to come in. They're going to come in very, very suddenly. It's a sword, okay? You will get a very sudden, clear message from this person. And also I feel that's why this is meant to be, that they will finally speak the truth that you knew all along. It was very frustrating for you. I really do feel for you. Being stuck in hangman energy in a relationship, and the Two of Wands, it's not good. It's not good at all. Yeah, and clarifying that card is the Lovers. So yeah, they're going to come back in. They've realised that you're the one, that you're their soulmate, that you what's interesting about the Lovers card is that it is actually a card of shared values as well. Now, right back in the past here, what you had was a collision of values, as I said. You had different values, different beliefs. You are actually very well suited, and your ex is having an epiphany, or they're going to very, very shortly. Okay, it will definitely, I've got before the holiday season. That could be Thanksgiving if you're in the US, or possibly going in towards Christmas. But even if it's been a long time, things can just suddenly change. I've seen it many, many times. So as far as your ex is concerned, that there is going to be a massive energy shift on their behalf. Okay, massive energy shift. Yeah, they've literally been sat for ages thinking about doing this. Okay, you've been on their mind. They're thinking about you. But they haven't been sure what to do, because this time they know they've got to come in and they've got to get it right. There's going to be people around that you might have comments from who might not want this to happen, and you've got to get it right this time. There's somebody, possibly your ex, is connected into, who won't be very happy. Always ignore people who aren't happy. It's your life, okay? What I found, now I'm really old, is that a lot of the time people have their own opinions because they want your situation to stay the same, because in some shape or form, I can guarantee you, it will suit them. Ignore them, okay? Just ignore them. Do what you want. I think time will heal, has healed this. I do feel that a lot of the old stories and the pain, because it has been a while, has been worked through. Okay, now your ex has got to come in right this time. Okay, they've got to come in right, and they have been waiting for the right moment. But with this powerful shift coming in, I do feel that it's one of those energies where people wait, but then they almost say, you know what, I'm out, I'm going. Yeah, they're going to move forward. I think your ex had been definitely in victim mode. I think they were, instead of looking at what they did have, they were very much focused on the past. I don't just necessarily mean you. I think something in their life previously that they had never really processed. I think they do have a tendency, or they did have a tendency, to hang on to the past a lot. But now I do feel that they are going to let that go, okay? And that they are coming into you. But I feel this will work for you. If this is for you today, I feel it will work for you, because you've been apart, and I think you've forgiven them, you've healed, and whatever happened way back in that hangman energy, time has healed it. I keep saying that, but it's important, because underneath that we've then got the star. So this for me is a soulmate connection, okay? The distance has healed. You could have been manifesting this person in, they could have been manifesting you in, consciously, unconsciously. But there's definitely a lot of faith in this energy today that this relationship will work going forward. But I will repeat this, that there will be people who may not be entirely convinced, okay? You know this, and your ex knows this, and it's almost like it's your last shot at it to get it right. Because there will be some bridges that are burned. Okay, there will be some bridges that are burned. What bridges? Yes, 9 of Swords. There are issues here that, the 9 of Swords is anxiety, it's fear, it's feeling overwhelmed, but it can also be a card that represents us being the subject of gossip. And that's the meaning I feel it's got today with what I'm channeling, okay? But I do see this working. I feel it working. And don't worry about burning the bridges, I'm hearing. Don't worry about burning the bridges. Let me just see about these other people. What gossip? What gossip? Yeah, I think, right, okay, I think there are people around, maybe on your side, that will say that this person hurt you in the past, or they ran off, or they're a runner, okay? But underneath it, channeling what the gossip might be, I've got happiness hater. So there is somebody, whoever that is, who doesn't like other people to be happy. They're only happy when other people are meeting the roles and expectations they feel that they should meet. Okay, people can be really selfish. Even people close to us can be selfish, because everybody sees this world through their own perception. The way I see the world is very different to how you see the world. You know, it's all about perception, okay? Yeah, and this person, gosh, underneath is a wolf in sheep's clothing. So just beware of that. Your ex knows this, though. That's why they've been taking their time. They've got to come in right. You've got to have a bolt hole. You can't just go off on a tangent here, okay? Because it's going to put your reconciliation under more pressure. My spirit guides are telling me that. But on the other hand, you must ignore other people's opinions. That's very important today. Please ignore other people's opinions. I'm just going to get this deck before I wrap this up. I just want to get you one of these beautiful messages. I'm going to pull that one. It's sticking up. Right. Yes. I wonder why it's sticking up. Your angels are asking you to make an important decision. It's likely you know which choice you really want to make, but you may procrastinate so you don't upset someone else. Okay? Ask your angels, your guides, whoever, the universe, whatever you're connected into, okay? Your beliefs about what you believe in are always right. Nobody else's, okay? No one else's. Always bear that in mind. And then make the choice that celebrates who you truly are. Okay, make the choice for you. Please make the choice for you. If you make a choice based on trying to keep other people happy, okay, at some point, maybe later on in life, maybe when you look back on life, maybe when you're not as healthy in life, or something further down the line, you will wish you had made the choice for you. Okay? You know, that's quite often a thing of people who are dying, isn't it? You know, live your life. Live it for you. That doesn't mean you have to railroad over people and not be kind. You can be really, really kind, but you have to fill your own cup first. Because otherwise resentment, because what I'm hearing to tell you is that you make a choice based on keeping other people happy, then you're not entirely happy, living half a life, but they're still living their lives. You know what I mean, don't you? You notice that with people. They'll still be living their lives, okay? Sometimes it's best to face the fear and do it, but please make the choice that celebrates you. Let me look at the bottom of the deck. Yes, Ace of Swords, bottom of the deck. Yeah. Don't be dissuaded by the challenges along the way. These are merely course corrections to perfect your plan. But also the Ace of Swords is what I was feeling as well. That the Two of Swords has come up in the reverse. You're going to get the truth. You're going to get the truth about all of this, okay? And your ex is going to drop that hangman energy. Alright, so I'll leave that with you. Just look after yourself, okay? Put yourself first. Remember who you are. Up on that pedestal. Tell yourself every single day how wonderful you are, how much you love yourself, even if you're crying. Eventually, like you learn your numbers, you know, at school, we have it programmed in us. And eventually we can recite it in our sleep because it's in our subconscious. Like when you drive sometimes, and you get there and you can't remember driving, but when you're first learning, you're like there with the, you know, oh God, how do I do this, how do I do that? Just keep building up your self-concept, okay? And eventually it will run on autopilot, like your numbers, your driving, and anything else that you program into your mind, because that's all it is. Whatever you think becomes a belief, okay? So think good thoughts about yourself, that's the main thing. So, love you very much, take care, have a good time wherever you are, whatever you're doing, and remember, enjoy your life, it's yours, okay? You get to make the decisions, this is your movie, nobody else's. I love you, bye.